Hello everyone, in this video we'll continue our discussion on various codal provisions related to fillet weld part 2. Okay, throat thickness TT. So if we see the definition of this, it is the distance from root to, so it is the distance from root to face of the fillet weld cross section. So actually we have to take the perpendicular distance. So it is a distance from root to the face of the weld cross section, fillet weld cross section. It means this is a root to the face. So this is considered as a throat thickness. So throat thickness is distance from the root to the face. So actually that is a perpendicular distance. So this is about the definition of throat thickness. And one more thing, the important point here is it is the effective in transferring the shear. It is effective in transferring the shear. So that is the most important thing here you should observe. So as we discussed, fillet weld always fails in shear. So we have to make the fillet weld strong enough in shear. So to make that strong enough means it should be able to transfer the load from one member to other member by using this fillet weld. So in that fillet weld, this throat thickness is effective in transferring that shear. It means the weld is going to transfer the force from one member to other member by shear. So through this cross section, it means the plane is like this, okay, perpendicular to the board. So along this plane, the shear will transfer. Okay, along this plane, the shear will transfer. See, this you can observe practically also. For example, take a two members. So this is one member, and this member is connected to this member with a fillet weld. So assume that this weld is failed because of load. Okay, so now after failure, how this member look like or how the weld is stick to it? This is how the failure is going to be. It means some part of weld is stick to this member and some part will stick to this member. It means it is going to fail along that throat thickness plane. So based on that, we came to know that throat thickness is the effective in transferring the shear, but not size or the hypotenuse. Okay, size or the face. So that is important thing. So in design, the which dimension we should consider? In the calculation of strength in a design, we should consider TT. That is the weld is going to fail along the throat thickness only. You can say this is the weakest plane, or it is effective in transferring the shear. So this is how the weld is going to fail, but not like this. So this is the correct failure. But if you observe this, another. So weld is not stick to one metal entirely. So like, okay, like this. That is not the case. So based on this practical observation, we came to know that weld is going to fail along the throat thickness only. So that is why throat thickness is the weakest plane. Clear? So take it down. So this is a very, very important dimension in the cross section of fillet weld. Clear? TT. So it is a distance from root to the face, perpendicular distance from the root to the face of the fillet weld cross section. So take it down. Okay. So now let us see the provisions regarding this throat thickness. So I'm going to rub this diagram. So now throat thickness is TT. So which is equal to throat thickness TT is equal to KS. So what is S? We know S. What is S? S is the size of the fillet weld cross section. Now K. So what is K? That is unknown to us. K is a constant. K is a constant, depends on angle between the connecting faces or fusion faces. So K is a constant depend upon angle between the fusion faces. So let us see the values of K given in the code book. So theta and then K values. So if theta is in between 60 to 90, so first I'll write the angles and then 91 to 100 and then 101 to 106, 107 to 113, 114 to 120. So these are the angles. Okay. So if it is 60 to 90, then value of K is 0.7. So from 0.7, if you subtract 0.05, how much it is? 0.65. Again, from 0.65, if you subtract 0.05, how much it is? 0.6. So like that, subtract 0.05 from the value. So from this, if you subtract 0.05, it is 0.55 and it is 0.5. So these are the K values. And if you observe, the angle between fusion phases should lies between 60 to 120. So if you observe this provision, the angle between the fusion phases should lies in between 60 to 120. Then only the weld can be done. See, what happened if the angle is less than 90, 60? So what happens? So assume that these two are the members. This is a 90 degree angle. So we are reducing the angle. So if the angle is less than 90 degrees, 60 degrees, sorry, less than 60 degrees, then what happens? The deeper penetration of the fillet weld is not achieved. Yes or no? So if the angle is like this 20 degrees. So now can we penetrate the weld metal to this corner? Tell me. Can we penetrate the weld metal to the corner if angle is less? No. So the proper connection cannot be established. Or proper strength of the connection cannot be established. So further the minimum angle is 60 degrees. Then only the proper penetration of the weld material or weld metal can be achieved. And if angle is greater than 120, what happens? Because of the self weight, or it is very difficult for the weld to hold it. Clear or not? So it can hold up to 120 degrees only. If it is more than 120 degree, what happens? It will fall or it will fail because of its self weight itself. So based on that, there is a restriction for the fusion phases, angle between the fusion phases. That should be 60 to 120. So based on this, these are the K values. Clear? So simply see, most of the thing, if nothing is mentioned in the given question, you always consider the angle between fusion phases in between 60 to 90 degree. So now the K value is 0.7. So we can take that formula. T is equal to 0.7. See, that is not the case. But usually, if it is nothing is mentioned in the question, then we have to proceed with it. But if the angle between the fusion phase is given, then we are not supposed to use this formula. We are supposed to use the K. So according to this formula, we have to choose K. Clear? We are not supposed to use 0.7. But as I said, so usually angle between the fusion phase is in between 60 to 90 degrees. So you can we can take K as a 0.7. But that is not the general situation. Okay, not 100%. But 90% cases we can take 0.7. But you have to be very careful in the given question. If nothing is mentioned about the angle between fusion phases, then take 0.7. But if it is mentioned, then according to this table, you have to choose the value of K. So now how this is 0.7? It's simple. That is a mathematics, or you can say trigonometry. As it is a perpendicular. So now we can say this is a 45 degrees or not. So this angle is 90. So this is 45 and this is 45. So now if you take cos theta, so cos theta in this cos 45. So we know that cos 45 or cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So in this triangle, smaller triangle, this is adjacent, and this is hypotenuse. So now adjacent side is TT and hypotenuse is S. S or no? So now TT. So TT is equal to cos 45 into S. How much cos 45? 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 is 0.7. Means 0.707. So we can approximate as a 0.7 S. So this is how this TT is equal to 0.7 S is derived. So simple thing. But code as for all angles from 60 to 90 degrees, code suggests us to take 0.7. But strictly speaking, this is only for if angle is 90 degrees. If angle between fusion phase is 90 degrees, then only the K value is 0.7. But code suggests us to take for 60 to 90 degrees, the value is 0.7. So this is the derivation. Clear? This is regarding the throat thickness.